Inheritance means code reusability. Reusing a code, that is called inheritance. This is one of the object-oriented concept. When we access members of one class into another class, that is called inheritance, also called inheriting or deriving properties of old class into new class is called inheritance. There are different types of inheritance. One is single inheritance, second is multi-level inheritance, third is hybrid inheritance. Why we use inheritance? To achieve code reusability. It means we write code once and use as many times as we want. Let us see one example for this single inheritance. I take here one package, inherit pack. Right click on this package, new class, inherit, mark this checkbox, click finish. Here what I will do, I will take one class called B. I will take another class called D. Say this is our second class, and this class has one method called or let's say show. Show method is executed. Return type of this method is nothing. This is called base or super or parent class. This is called derived. Hope you are able to hear me and able to see screen. Also.
No problem. Yes.
Yes, good. Derived of subclass or subclass. This is a superclass, also called as base class or parent class, which has some properties or some members. This is child class, and what I want to do is I want to use that show method into this class. If I do like this, inherit demo, I dot, if I do like this show, then it will not allow because this class does not have show method. Now, how members of this class will be available to this class means for the object of this class, subclass or child class, that is inherit demo. For that, what we do, to extend this subclass to superclass, that is A. Now what happens? Whatever there is available in this A class, that will available into this child class. Now I can create object of this child class and I will call show method. Now you can see it is not showing us compile time here. Means we are able to access now this show method. We run this. Before it was showing us here. I remove this extents. Now you can see there is no inheritance. You can see now it's showing there. Okay, method show is undefined for the type inherited. Now to access that, we achieve single inheritance, and for that let me write here title of the program achieve access members one class single inheritance. Say this. Now we are able to add that show method into this class. When we run this, it will call show method and will show whatever output is. So output of this method is show method is executed. This is how we achieve inheritance in Java. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Let us see next part. Okay, some more points regarding inheritance. In C++, there is a multiple inheritance, but in Java, there is no multiple inheritance. If we want to achieve the multiple inheritance scenario, then we can do it by using multiple interfaces, but not inheritance. We cannot do multiple inheritance in Java. If we want to achieve that scenario, we can use multiple interfaces. This is one point regarding inheritance. Let us see next part, that is polymorphism. Polymorphism means a particular thing will have an ability to be exist in different forms or to act in a different forms or to act in a different way. A particular thing will have an capability to act in a different ways. That is called polymorphism. This polymorphism is one of the object-oriented concept of this Java. This word, how this word formed? Poly means more than one. Morphism means forms. Form means it exists in a particular form, we say. Poly plus morphism. Ability to exist or to be in different or various forms. That is called polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphism: static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism is also called as compile time polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism is also called as runtime polymorphism. Why we do polymorphism? Another reason is to achieve code cleanliness, to maintain code cleanliness, and to provide some more implementation or some new our own implementation to existing methods of Java. For that also we use polymorphism. There are two types, method overloading and overriding. With the help of these two, we achieve polymorphism. In static polymorphism, we do only method overloading. Method overriding is not allowed. In dynamic polymorphism, we achieve both things, method overloading as well as method overriding. Step by step, we will see that what is static polymorphism, how to achieve the method overloading. Polymorphism exhibited at runtime is called dynamic polymorphism. Whichever exhibit at runtime, that is called dynamic polymorphism. Means at the time of dynamic polymorphism means runtime polymorphism means at the runtime, compiler know which method to bind, which method call to bind with which method body. But at compile time polymorphism, compiler does not know at compile time which, sorry, let's repeat once again. Compile time polymorphism means compiler know which method call to bind with which method body. But in runtime polymorphism, compiler don't know about which method call to bind with which method body. This is runtime polymorphism. Okay, at runtime only interpreter will know which method call to bind with which method body. JVM identifies which method call to which method body. JVM identifies which method to call by parameter type, number of parameters, and sequence. As we know this, we written one method before this program, and in that we written one addition method, that was method call, and we written method definition also. That method was having return type, parameters. So depends on that parameter types, method name, number of parameters, sequence of parameters, depends on that compiler or JVM and identify which method to call. Method overloading. We will see method overloading in compile time polymorphism. Right click on this SRC folder, go to new, take package. Keep this little bit simple. Compile time polymorphism. Finish. Must keep the package name small, so I will make it as a C small, CTP small. CTP method overloading pack. This is package name. It's name a little bit smaller. Compile time polymorphism method overloading factor. Click OK. This is our package name. Or we can keep it as a polymorphism. Right click on this package, go to new, take a class, compile time polymorphism, CTP method overloading. This checkbox, click finish. Try to program to achieve compile time polymorphism. Method. Let us see how this method overloading. There is a method called suppose calculate. Definition for method overloading is two or more methods writing in such a way that method names will be same, but method signature will be different. That is called method overloading. We do method overloading to achieve code cleanliness, to keep a code clean, or to improve code readability. For that, we use method overloading. Here is our calculate method. Until it has two parameters, A and B, and C equal to A plus B, and print addition equal to plus load A, load B here, multiplication take this as a follow. Multiplication equal to plus C. A comma double B, take here one variable, double greater than C, A minus B, this will answer and store into C, subtraction equal to plus C. Now, how overload method? Written method overloading depends on the parameter we send, method should be overloaded. For example, if I create object of the class, let's say C, then C dot calculate method. If I send 20.5 F and 3.5 F, if I do like this, then what will happen? Let us see. Then this one method will be overloaded, means selected, means executed. This is called method overloading. There are three methods, but out of that, this one only executed or overloaded because we are passing two float values. What happens? It searches such a method, calculate method, which has two float parameters. So it find here and it select here and it perform operation and it should. Now it should not show any subtraction or addition, it will show multiplication. Let's run this. Multiplication equal to 71.75. If I comment this and say if I pass two double values, this will be double values. Then it will show us subtraction. Subtraction equal to 17.0. This is called method overloading. Method overriding is not allowed in compile time polymorphism or in static polymorphism. And what we
Mahesh,
yes.
Please repeat the difference compile and runtime. I'm not understanding polymorphism. What is the difference between the two?
Yeah. In static polymorphism, means in compile time polymorphism, compiler know which method call should be binded to which method body. Okay. But in runtime polymorphism, compiler does not know which method call to bind with which method body. This is the difference between these two. Okay. Again, in compile time polymorphism, we cannot do method overriding, but in runtime polymorphism, we can do method overriding. How we do method overriding, I show in next session.
Oh, so this is example of compile time.
This is compile time polymorphism.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, if you have time, we can take next program, that is method overriding. Can we take that method overriding program? Hussein?
Yes, I am here now.
Okay, can we take next program, method overriding?
Yes, go ahead.
We saw method overriding. Now we see method overriding. Yeah, one more thing. This here we write static means this is compile time polymorphism. When I write static, but I don't write static or any keyword, that is a runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism. This is a runtime polymorphism. But when I write final or static or private keyword before method, then that is called as compile time polymorphism.
Mahesh,
Yes, yes, please. Any question?
if you don't mind, let's stop today. Let's continue tomorrow.
Why?
I have to get going.
Okay, fine.